off the cuff and prepared responses with WAPTech. Just asking questions. Here we go. WAPTech, did you hear about Lee Wheelbarger's video? He said the Earth is entering a full ice age in 2020. His predictions are getting more outrageous. Oh, and guess what? He doesn't live in a 800-acre ranch in Florida anymore. He lives in his yacht and tells the public his solar yacht is the only one in the U.S. I won't go there. Anyway, next. And the person makes an assertion. He is now saying he's not working and is asking for handouts on his live feeds. People are paying him up to $100 whenever he tells him he was the first to do calculations about the sun and the coming full ice age. I have a video I'm going to be doing later, has nothing to do with him obviously, about someone saying that NASA said that the sun is turning off entirely. This is like people who say, well, the sun's supposed to be yellow. I grew up with that. Yeah, because you lived in an area with high pollution, the pollution went away. Also, so did the jobs. Or you moved to an area that had better air quality. But anyway, let's go on. I plan on exposing his fraud, and once I get dirt I am after, he will be closing down his YouTube and Facebook pages. The man's a fraud. Okay, number one, that doesn't work. I said I wasn't gonna go off on this one. I didn't know you were gonna say this. You can't make a person stop telling people what they want to hear. They'll pay them more money. It's not how you do it. You know what I did that pissed him off the most? I actually double-checked his assertions about himself and asked him simply, do you have any proof of this? And he did the very stereotypical charlatan and egotist behavior of saying, how dare you call me a liar? If I say I'm a computer technician and computer security technician, a shop owner, a cobbler, number one, these are really mundane things to lie about, but if I'm told, you have to prove this, I just tell people I'm not going to. Why? Because I don't care if you believe me. It's not relevant. I can do a video on computers or do a video on this crap. This is less boring than talking about formatting a hard drive. We'll do a live stream while I format a hard drive so you'll understand why I don't do that. No, I'm not going to do that. That's a waste of 6 hours because I'm sure the hard drive will have a hiccup. They always freaking do. That's why you set them up to format and you leave the building and come in the next morning. And the hard drives that don't work, you shoot them. But anyway, let's get on with this. He's not the first person to do these calculations. A guy named Casey did. And so did other people. This is a meme from the 1970s. This isn't the first rodeo, and he's not really even the rodeo clown. But trying to shut him down, don't. It really doesn't work. What you do is take on the video and disprove it. That might actually accomplish something. I doubt it, but it might. But the thing is, I've been able to reach a few people who are true believers by explaining to them, this is how the reality works. You can check it. Don't comment to me or tell me I'm wrong. Tell yourself I'm wrong. That makes you happy, that's fine. But you're sitting there looking at a description under my video that literally tells you how to double check whether you're being lied to by Alex Jones, the mainstream media, the president at the time, or the current president. I'm handing you a bunch of tools. You refusing to build a bridge and get over it, it's not my problem. When you do that to people, guess what they do? They sub your channel and realize, yeah, I'm getting lied to, and they start looking, sometimes they're looking for a guru or a guide. I tell them, no, you have to be your own guide. That's why I'm really thinking carefully about writing up how to set up your computer to be secure. Because I'm not going to be able to take responsibility for that for anybody, not because I'm worried about lawsuits, but because it's literally not possible for me to tell anybody how to secure the system, because every system is different. I give them the tools, and I help them learn how to do it. And I try to make it as easy as possible. I'm just starting at this. Believe it or not, it's harder for me to do a video on something I'm way too much experience with, than to do this stuff. Easy one with him. Okay, show an actual temperature change that corresponds to the solar cycles. Period. Full stop. The number of sunspot activities changes dramatically from nearly 0 to hundreds during a cycle. Okay, what is the temperature change? There isn't one. Because there is not. That's the first thing you find out is, that's not happening. Every 11 years we don't get that kind of cycling going on. Is there a place on the Earth that it matches? Okay, does it do it through the next cycle? No. Okay, that's fine, but show me a cycle of an 11-year cycle. Don't got one? Stuff it. But it's a grand solar minimum. No, it's not. You're talking about looking at solar patterns and saying it causes global warming or global cooling. You have to say both because it has to affect temperature, right? No, it only causes global cooling. I exposed one guy for lying about being a big organization at one time because he was getting paid by oil companies to spread propaganda like this. I think his name is Casey. I caught him. That's it. I don't even see him anymore. He fell out of favor because everybody else picked up the information. I spread it to every channel I could find. Probably got my channel killed for it. The point is, okay, maybe I made a little bit of a change. Maybe other people did it. But the point is, you have to show predictive ability with your hypothesis. If I give you an idea that says a 9-volt battery will do this, this, and this with a red LED and 2 white LEDs, that's something you can test by just hooking them up. Okay, the solar activity affects weather. All right, well, here are all the different variables. Do they change weather in that pattern? No. If you're going to have causation, you better freaking have correlation. If you're going to claim to be an expert locksmith, you better know how to pick a damn lock. Otherwise, you're just some guy who knows how to pick a lock. There is a one-way thing here going on. I'm just going to continue with the video even though I'm babbling. I promised myself I wouldn't. That never works. Anyway, next. Hey, WAP, can you explain the supposed 223 cartridges that were found in the Tropicana parking lot? Was someone firing from the edge of a rooftop and it landed there? And he makes a comment about the suicide shot being so hard to hear. I understand. Okay. Let's get on with it. November 12, 2017, not the current year, over a month later, on IntelliHub, a post was set up to push the multiple shooter meme. And it was a video and somebody describing what happened in the video. So I'm just going to use the description because that's what you can search for. Jason Goodman did a live stream or something similar to that where Joe Napoli was talking to him. And Napoli said from 11:30 to 11:40 p.m., somewhere in that time frame, he was going through the southeast part of the Tropicana parking lot after he fled the Route 91 concert venue. Okay, and I'll try to give a street view to that. He saw about a dozen brass shell casing, is what is said. He also said other versions of this, there's 2-inch long objects, blah, 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 and also some garbage like beer cans and stuff, soda cans. He ran right over them and didn't know why anybody else didn't see them at the time. Okay, here's what's wrong with this. Where are all the shell casings at? Now, if your answer is, and you got to hit that buzzer anywhere but where Paddock was, you see, you have to push that because we already know about those, so we have to talk about something else because it's more interesting. Oh, let's not talk about Paddock having hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of brass casings in his room on camera. No, they're not unshot bullets. They're bullets that were fired. Let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about the audio evidence that points back to the building. Let's not talk about the idea of him shooting from a high point down at a group of people being more efficient than being at nearly or at ground level shooting. Let's not talk about the fact that people ran towards the Tropicana. And I have yet to hear of anybody saying shots were coming from the Tropicana towards the Route 91 festival. We have a half a dozen casings that were not photographed, were not picked up. Nobody said, hey, we have something that really looks like it. This was after the shooting was over with for a while. Alright? The person who asked this, I'm not chiding them. I'm chiding Goodman. Why didn't Goodman act like a real journalist for once? So, did you take any pictures? No. Did anybody else take pictures? No. Did you find somebody who could take a picture? No. Were you still all in a panic and everybody running? Because there's lots of videos from that time period. What about people running past the same location with a video camera? Do we see anything on the ground there? So I'm going to go through that video, find the exact location he's pointing out, and then I'm going to look for a bunch of videos that show that point. We're going to see something there, like maybe some garbage. And I'd like to point out something else. Somebody having a box full or a bag full or a handful of brass casings from whatever gun Might have just thrown them out on the ground. Did you know it's not illegal to litter random bits of metal? Could have also been glass crack pipes. It could have been literally any other thing. It could have been those little shorty tubes for single cigarettes. You take off the cap, they're about the same length as one of those shells. Maybe there's a brand of single serving cigarette that was available at the time in the area that had a yellow casing on it and it looked shiny. I don't know. He's describing things that are more like that when he talks about it. According to the write-up, I'm doing the write-up from Intella because that's the first occurrence. Why didn't he talk about it earlier? Why didn't he have somebody point a camera at? Hey, pay attention to this. This. I'm sorry, but isn't this evidence? Everybody suddenly turns into Dick Tracy weeks after they should have. If Lombardo said he found a pile of these casings, suddenly, weeks later, right outside the window, right under paddock, down there where we should find them, would you believe him? Answer that question below. Would you believe Lombardo if he did this kind of story? See also the video on NServe where somebody came out of the frickin' fish pond. But anyway, let's just get on with this. Next one. Is it possible I could have your birthday in year, sir? No. No, I'm not out to get you. I'm a dork. I acknowledge birth signs and want to have a peek. No. Because, first of all, the month you were born in is only your sun sign. No. Now, I know you don't acknowledge astrology. No. For people who do, don't care. We know that doesn't hold much weight. Nope. Be a sport wap. Nope. And no, I don't don't hang my hat on astrology. Good. It would fall to the ground because it's fake. It's not. Dang it, I ruined my joke. Anyway, next. I do find it very interesting that most people seem to reasonably, really resonate with their birth chart. No, they don't. It's selection bias. I'm sure there's lots of coincidences, but there's still, it would be fun. Last person who tried to do this tried to stab me in the face with a pencil. Yes, it's a John Wick joke. No, I'm not kidding. I'm not going to give anybody my birth date. There's two reasons. I don't give people certain details about my life because it can be used to nail down exactly who I am. Unless you're a potential lover or the federal government, hopefully not the same, you don't need to know that. Next, I literally have told everyone I know, do not acknowledge my birthday and do not use my full name in public. Just don't. And if they ask why, I say, I'm never going to talk to you again if you don't agree to this. And if you start teasing me about it, I will literally not talk to you. And if you start aggravating me, your check won't work. That usually gets them to shut up and leave me alone. I don't let people know this information for very specific reasons. I'm a computer security technician and a generalized security technician. Take it from me, you don't give out this information. You don't. I don't, so you don't. Next, I have lied to people about my birth dates whenever they say they're astrologers or they're into it. I give them the wrong birth date and see how much selection bias happens. And then tell them, yeah, that's not my birth date. I've even had a person tell me, well, it is your birth date because it matched. No, it doesn't. It never does. It's the way it is. There's also a couple of videos that talk about, well, your Rh negative status determines blah, 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 or your blood type. No, it doesn't. You're trying to find information about people so that you can try to determine what to prejudice yourself for. That's what I say to people. Now, for this person, no. I'm just having a little bit of a laugh. I'm not trying to be mean to you. But I do know that people who actually look up any of this end up having hardcore biases they can't get rid of sometimes. And the only way I can fix that is I'm an attack helicopter. Let's talk about flying. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that.